You're making your way outside. The guards that you passed previously look towards you and give you a nod. Look towards Kara. Oh, did you get your mouth fixed?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you're very polite.
Thanks for just do a cutesy little smile.
He kind of blushes a bit and smiles back.
Aww.
Look at his feet.
Aww.
I give him a pat on the back. Thanks for your help.
Oh, you're welcome.
Can I take a glance at what he is reading? What he was reading earlier?
It was the other one, though.
That
That was reading something, but he's still reading his book. He's not paying attention to you walking by. So go ahead, roll me perception.
Perception. It shouldn't be that bad. I should keep my mouth shut.
Not that bad, with a +2.
You're walking, trying to look at what he's reading, and you trip and face plant right onto the ground.
That looked like it hurt.
Oh no! Oh fuck! My chest hurts.
Did you fall in your
Shut up.
your front heavy now?
Yeah.
Those aren't safety cushions, I don't think, unfortunately. Sorry, did that sound too weird?
Oh.
Oh. Let's just go.
Hey, John, I'll just give you a hand up. There you go.
You glance back over towards the guard reading the book, and he's kind of looked at you and he's looked away, kind of trying to pretend he didn't see that, trying to stifle a laugh.
It just makes it worse.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Maybe you should like wipe some of that mud off and have a swim in the river.
Is that an excuse to start swimming in the river?
Ooh.
Maybe.
Let's have fun after we're done.
Yeah, I think we need to try and make use of the sunlight while we've got it.
You make your way out, and you start following the pathway back the way you came. Do you just break off to go into the woods, I assume?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Start making your way through the woods. It's decently dense, but there are some large open patches here and there with long grass. You see various signs of wildlife dotted around. Someone likes to roll me a perception check.
Go on, I'll do it since I've not done. Oh, sorry, did someone else want to, especially?
Oh, I definitely didn't want to.
No, I do not.
Alright.
Minus.
I've not rolled perception for a while, so. $14.
Okay. As you're walking around, you catch various telltale signs of wildlife. You see a group of deer at one point darting across one of the open areas. All seem to just be ordinary, regular. You catch signs of a handful of campsites that haven't really been disposed of properly when people have left them.
Alright guys, so just having a look around here, but it seems that some people are having the same idea as we're having. There's some campsites here. So maybe if for whatever reason we do have to camp out in the forest, we've got stuff that we can potentially use without needing to buy it. Other than that, doesn't really seem like any of these deers are the sort that we're looking for, unfortunately.
How long would you like to spend search?
I think
We left around noon-ish.
it was just afternoon, I believe, what you're implying, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
So Just before dusk, I think.
Yeah, I
Or
think
hours, 6
Brandon
hours.
would. I think basically we want to have enough sunlight left so we can find our way back. But yeah, we probably want to spend the rest of the afternoon at least looking for this deer.
You know? Roll me 4 survival checks.
Which one of us?
Why?
All of
It can
us?
be whoever would like to roll them. It can be
Roll-
one each, it can
Roll
be-
one. Roll one each.
I think rolling one each because we're all searching for it. So, 6 for me.
22. Yeah,
Two
survival
for
is kind of like my thing.
12.
Dear.
Okay. We'll start with Brandon. A couple of hours in, you think you get the track of some deers and you start to follow them and they end up leading to a tree and then stopping. You look around the tree for a while and you can see some squirrels up there. You were actually following squirrel tracks, not deer tracks. You're not quite sure how you got them mistaken.
Oh god damn it.
John. Following this, you do manage to pick up a deer trail. It meanders through the trees, going towards a brook, then off and out into a clearing. You follow it, and you see a pair of deer. Seems to be male and female. And whilst they stood in the centre, a little calf walks out from the edge, coming towards them, nuzzling them. A nice little family unit that you found. They don't seem to be special in any way, just a pleasant little group of deer. Do you let the others know that you found them, or...?
I silently sign them. Just watch the scene, but not interfere.
After a few minutes, they start to make their way away. Seemingly going back towards the little brook, but at a further point along it. Kara,
Yes.
you don't really find anything. You're looking around, you find some more flowers. These are yellow with white centers.
I will leave the flowers alone.
Fair enough. And last but not least, David. As the sun is starting to get a bit lower in the sky, it's getting a bit harder to see by. At this particular point, you're leading the search. You manage to find deer tracks again. These lead out towards a clearing where there's a large mass of them, which then lead in multiple different directions. You try to follow a couple of them, but you end up losing the track eventually. For each time you try where you split off in a different direction. You don't actually see any signs of deers being physically there, however.
Alright.
At this point, following that, the sun is starting to go down. You spent a rather long afternoon and evening trying to search as best you were all able to throughout these woods, but sadly coming up empty. The best you found being a nice, pleasant little scene.
I guess it's time to head back.
Yeah, that was, I mean, to be fair, this is the first time we tried anything like this, so I guess it wasn't unexpected. Alright, well, let's head back to the town while we can still see it.
Not the shop?
Well, I mean, whichever's nearer, really. I'm guessing we know we can definitely stay in the shop, so yeah, I suppose we might as well do that.
And for free.
Yeah, it's just, I don't just... I'll be honest with you, I really just don't interact with that mouse again.
Nah, you don't have to. I would just ignore him if I were you.
Maybe
Yeah.
you like the cheese we brought.
Yeah, well, you know what, I suppose it is our best option for now. Alright, shop it is.
So you manage to find your way back to the path after a little bit more searching. It's starting to get dark when you do, however. As you meander your way back towards where you came from, the sun sets and you are walking in the dark. And we're going to assume you use light.
Yeah.
See that? Your light glows as a nice little beacon along the road as you walk.
At some point we'll realise we have dark vision.
I don't.
As you're getting
Actually-
quite close, you see a group of 3 humans walking towards you. All in armor, 2 of them with helmets, 1 of them not with helmets. They give you a little nod. Be careful up ahead, there's goblins over there. Just let you know.
From the camp?
Yeah, from the village. You don't want to interact with them.
They're not hostile, I don't think so.
No, but they'll try to grift you out of whatever you have. Just be careful.
Alright, good to know. Thanks for that up.
Gives you a nod, and then they continue on their patrol, heading back towards Gilbertstown. You make your turn off, going back up towards Far and Away. You notice as you're getting close, when you can see the doorway, you actually see Devlin stood in the doorway, looking down at the ground. As you approach, his head jolts up. He sees you all, and he turns and walks back inside, leaving the door open.
He was looking at the ground.
Yes.
I will try to figure out what it was he was looking at. If there was anything specific.
Grout he can't walk up or no.
Roll me intelligence.
A natural 1.
Maybe he just looks sad.
As everyone goes inside, you stay outside whilst you are looking around at absolutely everything, trying to figure out what it could possibly have been. You spend a good 10, 20 minutes just looking at every little detail around where you saw his eyes, studying them up close, smelling them, licking the ground, trying to find some kind of anomaly.
Hey, Dave, you didn't eat some of those flowers while you weren't looking, did you?
No. Was it a stick?
Why are you licking the ground?
Ew.
I'm not licking the ground, I'm smelling it.
You said you
Okay.
spit out a little bit.
No, I definitely saw him lick it, guys.
Yeah, Dave, maybe I think we need to just go and get some sleep. Maybe just pack it up for now.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I walk inside.
And I have no idea what you're doing. That makes us even. Okay.
Behind
Well-
the counter, Defloon is stood. When you all actually make your way in properly. So, were you successful in obtaining the item I sent you out for?
And no, not yet. Apparently, you're looking for something of a folklore, so it's gonna be difficult to find.
Oh, that is nothing new. You'd be surprised how little people know about their actual surroundings.
Speaking of surroundings, why was it that you were looking at the ground? Were you admiring the bugs? It was the bugs, wasn't it?
I just wish to look outside, simply.
Listen. Alright. Then I will head towards the kitchen. Trying to make some fish tacos.
Okay then. Do you have any idea how to make tacos?
Yes, I do.
Oh, fair enough.
It's
So
gonna
you're
be difficult with, having no oven, no frying pan.
Well, there is an oven though. Check, switch back now, actually.
There's an oven in the shop.
Yeah, in the upper right of the kitchen.
I thought it was like a fireplace.
They're basically the same. Open fireplace is an oven.
It is indeed a stone oven.
Oh,
I make
still not-
pizza. We can make pizza someday. Wow.
Oh, I like pizza.
Where was I?
In the
You were outside.
void.
You're in the nothingness.
I'm heading straight to the kitchen, trying to
Do you
cook something up.
read anything, Mr. Ghost Guy? Sorry, I'm not good with names.
Devlin Defluhan. I did try to call back one of you earlier, but you didn't return. There is something I would like you to obtain for me. Would you get me a selection of books from this place, please?
Bugs?
Yes. You know those things that you open and read. They normally have words inside of them.
Oh, book! I thought you said bug.
No, books. B-O-O-K.
It's his accent, I think.
If you could obtain some of them for me, I would be very grateful.
What kind?
I'll let you just get me a selection. Just a few nice bits and pieces.
Have you ever read 50 Shades of Grey? I've got like 4 copies back home for some reason.
I don't say I'm familiar with this tome. Is it magical?
Oh, definitely magical.
If I revisit that world, I may have to check that up then in that case. It sounds like it might help with illusion spells quite a lot.
I just love puzzled at illusion spells.
Well, I'm going to leave you to you. With that, he walks through the wall, goes towards the bathroom. I'm not gonna have you bother rolling to make tacos. I'm just gonna assume you actually know how to make them.
I do.
You're able to make some passable tacos.
Ooh. Does this kitchen have something like a fridge?
No.
I know it's a stretch, I knew it. So storing stuff will be difficult.
Has anyone seen the mouse?
I've not seen him since they scurried off a while ago.
You thought the smell of food had brought him here or something.
Dinner's ready. Brandon, can you get you?
Yeah, sure. Brandon goes.
Can I just use
upstairs.
Founder to make my voice sound really loud? Jude, dinner's ready.
Yeah,
June definitely
able to
heard
hear
that.
it.
Yeah.
At the food being brought over, you see a little yellow head poke out from under the table, looking up towards you, David.
Well, hello.
You alright? You, got some of that for me? It changes into a snake that slithers up the chair, then onto the table and back into a mouse.
I still don't like you, but I have some cheese.
Oh,
And I
not that cheese then.
give him a small piece of the cheese.
It takes it off you, gives it a sniff, gives it a lick, and then starts nibbling away at it.
No, get off the table. Use a chair.
It walks on its hind legs. As it gets to the edge of the table, the legs stretch out like a flamingo's, and it sits on the chair.
That's
It's effectively like a flamingo with a mouse's head now. And arms.
you are quite
You-
strange.
You don't have a token for that?
No. Sorry, my prep is limited. Yes, I know.
While David was cooking, June decorated her room with the flowers she had picked up.
I will.
Give me the bags of flower seeds.
I will just.
Oh, not the flower seeds yet, just the blood lettuce and the glue balls.
Oh, fair enough.
I will just eat the tacos inhumanly quickly if they've been brought to me.
Oh, come on, I made enough for everybody.
I'm hungry.
Time passes and the tacos are consumed. And once the mouse finishes with the cheese, it shrinks back to mouse size and scurries away over towards the bookshelves, disappearing behind them.
I wonder where it goes to. Well then, I think that's it for today. There are some, June, maybe it's interesting for you, there are some empty crates and barrels. Maybe you could use the wood from that to make a like a small basin for the plants.
June looks up with her mouth full of tacos. Yeah. Oh, I will do that, Mr. Martinez. Thank you. These are really great. I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry.
I thought I wasn't gonna eat properly. You managed to make a meal, and I appreciate it a lot.
All right, don't cry.
Yeah, I've got.
They're not that good.
I'm gonna say
Excuse
I'm personally
Not-
quite impressed.
Not
honestly.
to cry over.
Well, I think you did a good job, Dave.
Thank you. Me and my wife used to cook together.
It's
Do you
actually
miss her?
What did you say, June?
I asked, do you miss her?
Of course I do. That's why I want to go back as soon as possible. But somebody, I start looking for definite. Always being difficult about it.
Yeah.
I think we will be able to get back.
Not the question isn't if, but more like when.
Well, I think all we can do for now is what we're doing.
When we get back, do you think we'll change back to normal?
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
I'm already normal.
Well, I mean, you still got really lucky there, Dave. God, you dodged a bullet for definite.
Maybe we can keep our magical abilities.
Yeah.
What magical abilities?
Honestly,
Oh,
honestly, John and Dave, at the moment, I'm just taking one day at a time. Like, if we can get back to our reality sooner rather than later, fantastic. But considering that we still got to hunt down this deer, I'm just thinking about surviving that first.
Ooh, Mr. Defloon, are you around?
The flutie.
Her head pokes down from the ceiling.
Is there a shower we could use?
No, there is no shower facilities within this building.
Oh.
There are basins and there are barrels. Well, there's a barrel with some water in it.
Why didn't you consider upgrading this shop?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I didn't create it in the first place.
And also, you don't need food, water, or really any comfort since you are literally the shop itself.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah. God, you don't care about your employees.
There are ways and means. And besides, could you even imagine trying to hook up plumbing in an interdimensional building?
No, but you could have a it's got some water tank on the roof, maybe even. Or below.
Oh, you could always install that then.
I could. If I
If we
was in
make
my
you know-
own world.
How to
If you
build.
make changes to the outside of the shop, do they also travel along when you up worlds?
No, there's a chance some things might fall off.
Oh.
It honestly depends.
You can try to make a portable shower.
Well, consider it as a craft project then. Have fun. Now, is there anything else?
Don't do that while I'm in the shower. Please.
There isn't a shower.
Oh, don't flatter yourself. With that, its head zooms back up into the ceiling.
Hey,
Oh.
Cara, do you need some more honey?
Just looking really annoyed at that. I mean, it's a house. I didn't think you know what modesty was.
Well, as thrilling as all this conversation is, I think I'm just going to go to bed at this point.
Yeah, I second that. I also have maybe some reading to do.
I would like to wash in the basin, like clean the honey off my leg as best as possible, then go to bed.
Okay. Yes, Brendan.
Actually, I was going to ask, did you say that that room was actually opened? I can't remember exactly what was said when...
I did not.
You didn't say one way or the other. Brandon's just going to walk up and check the door, just looking at it, not really inspecting it, to see if it looks like the room is, you know, been changed in any way.
Roll me an investigation.
Yuki. 13.
Still looks exactly the same as you remember it.
Alright, well, back down to Juntum then. And with that, Brandon walks in. Hey, June, are you sure you're cool with sleeping on the floor? I don't mind taking turns in the bedroll, since I'm crashing here at the moment.
I'm actually more used on sleeping on the floor than in bed.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's alright.
Right, okay. Just wanted to double check because... yeah. Yeah, well, okay. Well, I'm just gonna try and get some sleep. Alright, good night.
Night. I opened up the window before laying down.
It gives a refreshing breath of air.
Alright.
David, you said you were going to do some reading?
Yeah, I will try to meditate and try to get into the library of the blue guy, whose name
Okay.
I can't remember.
You settle yourself down
NFL.
in a nice and comfy position. You try to relax and reach out to the memory of where you were. Roll me. I'm going to say Arcana or Religion.
I'll go for Arcana. 19. Pretty good.
You sit there trying to concentrate, and you feel the image slip past you several times, but just before you start to give up, you give one last try, and you're suddenly stood in the center of the library.
Holy shit, I can't believe that actually worked. Do I see Denivel anywhere?
Looking around, he doesn't seem to be there.
I start screaming, "Hello, hello, hello, hello." Do I get a response?
You don't really get a response.
Alright, then we'll start looking for books about the snow deer, if they exist anywhere in this library.
Okay, give me an investigation check as you're walking around.
9.
So walking around, you find you're not able to read any of the spines on the books. They seem to be in languages you don't understand. You pull out one every now and then. Some of them are in languages you don't understand, others are just completely blank. After a period of time of you searching, you feel a presence behind you. Ah, you're back.
Where have you been?
I've been around, wandering the halls. I felt something and I thought, I would come over and here you are.
I actually appreciate you being here. I am, well, since you have so much time, I assume you already read most of the books here.
I read a good number. Not all of them. There is surprisingly around large amounts of knowledge. Quite generous, really.
Understandable. Are you familiar with snow deers?
Of the Hopakipri line or of the Tandoli line?
I have no idea what any of those two means.
It depends on which world you're speaking.
Do you know the world I am currently in, or my physical body is currently in?
Can't say I can just simply tell. Let's see. While you're speaking, suddenly the library shifts around you as you both of you move without moving to a different shelf. He pulls off a book, looks over it briefly. He waves his hand in the air, and an image of a ravenous deer appears with large spiked horns, with large canine teeth, red eyes. Does it look like that?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it, but I heard that it is pretty passive, and this one looks ferocious.
Passive, passive, passive. That's the book and puts it
It
back on the
gives you
shelf.
frostbites.
The world shifts around you again as you move to a different section of the library. He pulls out another book and draws in the air a symbol of a more normal-looking deer with large sets of antlers. Snow white fur. Would it be like this? Maybe then?
Yeah, looks about it. Yeah, I think.
Let's read here.
I'm currently on the hunt for one, so anything about its nature, preferences, habitats.
They're quite fond of enclosed dark spaces. They tend to frequent the same locations quite often. There are rare sightings in the worlds in which they have been found in. It's more like a magical mutation.
It's exactly like the one that I'm looking for, yeah.
You can see here. They are incredibly rare, actually. The horns, in particular, are actually quite valuable, though. They're used often to make staffs and wands. He shows you the book, the page he was looking at. You can't read any of the writing whatsoever.
I just rub my eyes, thinking that I might have just gone blind. Yeah. What language is this in?
I believe that was Zalbani.
Yeah. Do you also have something in English?
I will assume that is your tongue. Well,
Or if you
there'll be
could
various
translate it
books
also.
here, but I was assuming you might be able to read whatever I put in front of you, given you could speak to me, but I guess that's not the case. I could spend time teaching you to read various languages if you wish.
Oh, that would be lovely, yeah.
It'll be a bit better than me translating specifics for you. You may not always be able to come here, so... Okay. He takes that book off you, pops it on a shelf, and the world shifts around you again as you speed along to another section of the library you haven't been in yet. This is a large open area, complete with couches, tables, a desk, writing, quill and pen. He pulls up, grabs a book, opens it up in front of you, the pages are blank. Okay. Now, repeat after me. He snaps his fingers and a blackboard appears next to him. A piece of chalk animates and it draws out a symbol on it. We'll start with this. For what seemed to be several hours, he goes on teaching you about the fundamentals of language and understanding it in its written form and patterns you could potentially recognize. Roll me intelligence.
An 11.
You do start to pick up some of what he is teaching you. You start to understand some of the really basic fundamentals of understanding how written language is formed and how you can potentially understand it. But you're only at the bare basics at the moment.
So what's the first lesson?
Effectively, yes. It's your introductory.
Alright.
As the lesson draws to a close, you feel yourself starting to get pulled away as you start to feel quite tired. Is our time up
I'm
again?
actually in school.
We should probably go back and return. Perhaps you might be able to return again quite soon. We'll pick up our lessons again.
Alright. Teacher.
Have a pleasant rest. And with that, the library starts to fade away.
I just start falling asleep.
Okay. And with that, I think we'll end the session there.
Okay.
Okay, very good. I expect we'll be back with this again this time next week.
Indeedly doodly doodly dee.
Maybe.
Okay, well, if anyone is still knocking about, I want to thank you very much for joining us this evening. And until the next time we play D&D, I will see you again soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.